Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. So every couple of months, it's good to go and look at all the different wrestlers within WWE, All Elite Wrestling, Impact, MLW, ROH, New Japan, and see whose contracts are coming up soon and who's locked into those companies for quite some time. So with that, we're going to take a look at a list we've got, compiling a bunch of different wrestlers in a bunch of different companies and when their current contracts do expire. So let's kick it off with the WWE. Jim Ross, who is not being used by the WWE but is under contract, his contract expires in March of 2019. The current SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, the Usos, their contract expires in April of 2019. Also expiring in April of 2019 is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Now we know about Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose does not want to re-sign with the company when his contract also comes up in April of 2019. And the final contract for WWE that looks to be up in April is for Paige. Paige has not been used in the WWE since they actually cut the general manager role back in December for both Raw and SmackDown, so it's inevitable that Paige does leave the company. Now, I'm not saying this is confirmed, but I mean, what else are they going to do with her if she doesn't actually get to wrestle? They could make her a manager, but I don't know if I see that coming. NXT lead announcer Mauro Ranallo's contract does expire in June of 2019. The Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows' contract expire in September of 2019. Stephanie McMahon's on-screen contract does expire on October 7th, 2019, but, they're just going to renew that one for sure. And the last contract expiring in 2019 is Shinsuke Nakamura, but we're unclear what month his contract expires. Going forward to 2020, we do know that the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff's contracts will expire roughly around March 5th, 2020. The current Raw Tag Team Champions, The Revival, are signed on till April of 2020. Rey Mysterio's contract does run till October of 2020, but he does have a clause that can get him out of that, which actually is at the 18-month mark from when he first signed. We also do know that Mandy Rose's contract does expire in late 2020, and finally, rounding out 2020, is Randy Orton, as back in 2010, he signed a 10-year deal with the WWE. That news did actually come out in January of 2010, so maybe his contract expires January 2020, but we can't confirm January is the actual date. Going forward, we also know that Pat McAfee signed a multi-year deal through 2020 to do some stuff with the WWE. Jerry the King Lawler, his contract expires on January 10th, 2021. We know that the Raw Women's Champion and the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, has her contract expiring on April 10th, 2021. The 7-foot-tall Big Show's contract expires in the spring of 2021. Daniel Bryan is signed on with the company until September 2021. The most must-see guy in the WWE, The Miz, has his contract expiring sometime in 2022. And we do know that Kevin Owens has his contract expiring in April of 2023, as back in 2018, he signed a 5-year deal. Now let's move forward and look at All Elite Wrestling. We do know that Chris Jericho is signed through 2021. Kenny Omega's contract runs until 2023. Executive Vice President Cody Rhodes is signed through January 2024. And so are his co-executive vice presidents, the Young Bucks. They're also signed through January 2024. Now let's move on and look at New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. The Beer City Bruiser is signed up to the end through 2019. Hiroshi Tanahashi is signed through at least the end of 2019, but it's unclear if that's exactly when his contract does expire. And the same thing goes for Ring of Honor's Shane Taylor, as his contract looks to expire at the end of 2019 as well. Rush, or should I say Rush, His contract does expire at the end of 2019 with Ring of Honor. Bandito also signed a similar deal as Rush, as his contract goes through the end of 2019. Michael Elgin is signed with New Japan till January 2020. The Golden Sun Kota Ibushi is signed through February 2020. Flip Gordon is signed on with Ring of Honor through 2020. Lead Ring of Honor announcer Ian Riccoboni is signed on through February 2021, as he did just re-sign a new multi-year deal. Rocky Romero signed a multi-year deal recently with New Japan Pro Wrestling, having him locked in through 2021. In a similar note, Chase Owens is also locked into a multi-year deal, with his expiring at the end, or should I say through 2021. Silas Young is also signed on through 2021 with Ring of Honor. And finally, Juice Robinson is signed on with New Japan Pro Wrestling until January 2022. Let's move on to Impact Wrestling. Moose is signed on with the company until July 2020. Sami Callihan just recently signed a new deal, locking him in through February 2021. Falaba is in the same situation, as he just signed a new deal, locking him in also till February 2021. And finally for Impact, Josh Alexander is signed on through February 2022. Now let's look at Lucha Underground. Now, as far as Lucha Underground goes, we don't know too much about Lucha Underground. We do know that there are a number of wrestlers suing the company right now as far as letting them out of their contracts, because they're not telling them anything on if there's going to be a Season 5. But speaking of Season 5, both Pentagon and Phoenix are signed on to multiple seasons, but have an out clause after Season 5. And finally, let's take a look at MLW. Pentagon and Phoenix are signed with MLW through 2019. Selena is also signed with MLW through 2019. And finally, Davey Boy Smith just signed a multi-year deal with a company that runs him through 2020. So with that, that is what we know as far as contracts coming up for major companies like WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, and more. We do have a full list of this on our website, PWUnlimited.net, that we will keep updating, and in a couple months, we'll revisit this right here on YouTube. But that's going to do it for this episode. Remember to comment below, like and share this video, like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, subscribe here on YouTube, and follow PWUnlimited.net for the latest in pro wrestling news.